Just working on getting set up over here. The happy metronome. I tried doing a Bluetooth sync to keep the XY and the one field in sync, and it did not want to work. So I've given up on that. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. I know it's a little, ooh, the phone. I need to get a better camera or something different that doesn't keep wanting to twist. Anyway. We'll just keep goofing around. So I have to be okay with whatever halfway decent or poor timing I do on the OP1 field here, because it's just looping and recording to tape. But that's all right. Hey, Stavali, how you doing? Let's see what else we get for stuff here. Keys are so much louder on the XY. All right, a thing that I have to remember, I'm pretty good. Figured I had a few minutes, I'd goof around a bit. All right, okay, we actually are in sync for 4 bars here. I just needed to make sure I was in sync, because otherwise it's very easy to get these two out of sync with each other, which can be annoying. I think this needs to be a little louder. I was gonna say, maybe juice the resonance. Maybe not. All right. Let's see what other stuff we have out here. bad note. All right, lift it. It's gone. Oh, that's crazy. That one's not bad. All right. I do need to make it 4 bars before we get out of the first bar. Yeah, we'll find something. We'll find a pad. I don't know. Guess I'm in a chilled out mood. I was making sure I wasn't recording. Too loud. That kind of works. Might actually get a little bit extra that crash in there. Yeah, you can kind of hear the third bar. Oh well. there now. I can hear there's a couple of snare hits that are off. Oh well. Hey, Big Tower, what's up, man? Bars up again once we loop over. Oop, that last note flubbed. Let's go to bar 4. That comes out. So I can mute some of this stuff pretty easy too, just with shift in the while I'm in this track. Nope, wrong note. Let's do another set of drums here. We'll try again. I don't know why these sound... Oh, maybe I have, because I have the effect on. That might be why they sound so muddy. Oh, we got a... bad note. Ooh, shouldn't be pushing buttons while I'm in the wrong menu. We can drop some of this, I guess. Switch back. Gotta wait for the tape to wrap around. Probably should preset everything to 4 bars on the OPXY, because you could pull it down, I think, and have it still stay in sync, but the other way seems to be the problem. Oh, didn't check if these are in sync. 3rd bar, 4th bar. All right. We can also just switch up these drums pretty easy, which I should keep in mind. The track seems kind of loud. The thing I'll need to practice is, if I'm going to try and do stuff live, be able to play it and switch stuff around while you're kind of going in and out. So I can erase stuff super quick on the OPXY. And so you can, an interesting thing with it is you can hear me play it even though this track is muted, because it's not lit up. So I can play the notes here recorded in, but it's not, you can't hear it until I unmute it again. So there's kind of a way you can do like a hidden play of it. Unfortunately, you hear it. I think you even hear it if you go program the notes in. Like if I come over here, yeah, you're still gonna hear the snare. So you probably want to play it in time or something. I don't know. Oh, that was like that loud pad. Okay, like we can lift it. Now we can unmute it. Must have some weird chops on those drums. I hit the magic button, so now they're out of sync. To get it back in sync, I have to hit play again while it's playing. It'll send the transport control, pull it back. Among all the goofy things I've been learning as I've been playing around. Look at a crumb under here. I can hear something crackling. That doesn't fit. Weird. I didn't play quite the right notes. Oh, and we didn't record it. I thought I record and play. There we go. Then I'm going to do a different chord. Not quite in time, but whatever. Gotta get better at timing muting these as well. recording drums on the first track. I thought it was on the fourth one. Oh well. I'm just goofing around. I'm trying to make this perfect. So... That's not how you do a drop or build up either. I was trying to hit this and then unmute, but I couldn't roll fast enough. So everything in the OPXY is muted right now. I need to make more drum kits, clearly. And figure out a better way to transition. Maybe I should be thinking about moving from one to the other a little bit more. I can come through and just like erase everything in here. But, OP1, so I've tried to explain it to folks before. The OP1 is it's a good instrument, very good sampler. If you are trying to just practice, or you want to get, like, if you can read music and you're really good at just playing stuff, or you're like, I just want to noodle around and record it to the track and keep doing it and practicing it until I get good at it, the OP1 will really force you to get good at playing notes in order in time, or learning to accept that you've made some mistakes and kind of learning how to work with that. So you can't, it's much harder to get in and make edits. Like, as you're seeing me like kind of loop through here, I have to, like, if we come through, so I just mute everything here. If I'm down here and just letting this loop, I have to choose, like, I just recorded some, I don't know, like hats or whatever in here. If I want to add in some drums, like kicks, I have to basically decide, am I okay if I make a mistake or not? If, like, for what I'm doing live, I mean, you can, if you're not doing this live, you can make more mistakes and kind of move stuff around. But like in this case, I'm now recording, so whatever I put down on the tape It's going to be there, whether it's a mistake or not. So like I can hear like I made a few mistakes here. They're not quite in time. And I just have to be like, okay, am I cool with that or not? Sometimes you get some like fun stuff by making some, having some mistakes, but yeah, like you gotta kind of decide. So I would say like the OP1 field is much more, are you willing to learn to practice or learn to live with your mistakes? The OPXY or a lot of other instruments are like sequencers, so I can get in here, and if we come in and I got everything muted here now. It's muted up here. If like this will quantize the notes for me and all that fun stuff. So like if we just go delete this for the drum, I meant to delete the drum track. Delete the drum track. I can, if I just want to put things on the timeline, I could just be like, I want 4 on the floor. If I don't like where something is, I can just hold it down to copy it, delete it, and then just drop it someplace else. So I can move things around a lot easier on the OPXY here. And like, I can like, I'll play super sloppy somewhat intentionally, or I'll use that as my excuse to play sloppy. But I get the metronome on. And it's putting stuff probably where I played it or intended it for the most part. Like my snare is in the right spot here. It's in the wrong spot here. So like if I was to do that on the OP1, I have to go re-record everything to go fix it. Whereas, as I said, like on the OPXY here, I can hold down, copy, and just move it into the right spot. Presumably, the way I played this, I meant for this kick to be here, so I can fix it. So it really depends on what you're trying to do, and like how much, like, do you want to go be able to micro edit things? Now, a fun thing I can do with the OPXY here is I can go through and unquantize. So right now it's quantized, it says 100. Might be a little, you might not be able to read it on the display, but I can turn this down to 0, and it's just going to play it as played. So I don't have to accept the quantization, or I can like per track get rid of the quantization if I want. So like down here, if I come back in and bring this track back, unmute it, we can hear like it sounds kind of weird. Some people like this. Some people are not a fan because it's just going to really show where you're making mistakes. So again, like if I want to do this, it's like, okay, I got to lift this up and potentially redo it. So like part of that's like, well, do I like the groove that I just laid down? Like I can play with it. I can play around it, but that's definitely not glued together or quantized at all. It's like wherever the notes were. So if I play sloppy, that's too bad. Oh, you're recabling your whole setup. Yeah, I have disconnected almost everything in my studio, and I kind of just bring out like 2 or 3 things at a time that I'm either making videos for or just feel like playing with at the time. So I totally hear you. It's worth doing that. The SP404 Mark II is, however, up there in the corner, but I was like, I'm trying to keep this decent. The Ableton Move is an alternative to this. No, it's a good instrument. I like the Ableton Move. I think there's a lot of, I'll say, somewhat janky stuff you need to do with it to like really maximize it, but you can get an awful lot out of the Ableton Move. I like it. It's a fun little beast. So let's go clean this up. So like, as we're just still going, right? Like if I want to keep playing and lay down whatever. Let's go find something else. Let's see what we have in this sampler. Yeah, the end is okay. The OP1 is as precise or imprecise as you want it to be. I find I found that people that play acoustic instruments, or that, like, you know, drums, guitar, use their voice, they already had to learn to accept that they're not going to get a perfect, 100% perfect take. So they tend to actually like the OP1 because they can think in a timeline and kind of how they're laying it out. The OPXY allows you to think about like every little tiny moment and what you want to do. So it's hard for me to tell you like which way. I actually think they both complement each other very nicely, because like for me, this is forcing me to play and practice and kind of work on my timing better, whereas I can be really sloppy on the OPXY or the MPC or the SP404 Mark II and or the Ableton Move and kind of get away with it. I think so. The thing to probably think about is like, what do you think is going to frustrate you? If you don't know, like, that's totally fine. Like, that's where I would say though, like a good entry instrument might be like the Roland P6, SP404 Mark II, MPC1. You could get the original OP1 for quite a bit cheaper than the OP1 Field, although they're getting older and harder to maintain, so I'm not sure I would say 100% go for it, but it just kind of depends on what you're looking for to do and how you want to kind of practice. Yeah, I would say these are expensive enough that if you're going to get it and you don't know if you're going to like it, get it used so you're not losing quite so much money on the resale third-party market. I would actually say like that about just about anything. I do think the MPC 1 and 1 Plus are both a really excellent deal for what you get, and have pretty. You don't even really need to upgrade to a Live or an MPC X. You can get plenty of different SP404s. So if I make this faster, I will mess up my OP1 because it won't stay in sync, but I'm happy to do it. So I can go faster. But now these are not going to stay in sync. It will play it faster, but it just doesn't work very well because it still says 1:1. So it's already out of sync. It's just stuff that, as I've been messing around with this, I've been learning. So if I want to get it back in sync, I gotta set it back to, they have to both be set at the same BPM, and then I gotta use the transport control, like a double tap on the play to get them to stay in sync. I haven't found a better way to do it. Actually, I'll show you. So the mode I have is beat match, which is basically just making sure it's using the transport controls. If I put this in MIDI sync here, it will sync to the clock and the tape will be correct, but the transport controls don't work. So when I hit play, it'll start, which is thumbs up, good. It says 100%, which is good, but if I then double tap to reset the tempo here, it won't work. The problem is if I change the tempo on the OP1 because it's on tape, it won't follow or time stretch. The OP1 does, I mean, you can pitch shift like you would on a vinyl record by changing the RPMs and stuff, but you have to get it like exact for the correct ratio to work. So it's like what I'd have to basically do if I was going to do that is go change the tempo here to like 120, change it to 120 here. And if I come back to the tape markers don't line up correctly. So now what I need to do is go create a new chunk of tape. And if I want 4 bars, make it 4 bars. And let's go back to beat match. And then if I come back to tape, now, oh, this is not going to work. I need to get 1-to-1. So, you know, more of like a, yeah, there's all kinds of little nuances with how these two work together. If I was using like another, the OP1 is playing from tape. It's not really using a sequencer, so it's not going to stay in sync. If I was doing this with like the MPC or something and change the BPM, it would stay in sync because it's just using triggers. Maybe audio tracks. I mean, audio tracks might be a problem for you, but yeah. But I mean, like with this, I can now come over and like I can record something new in. So let's do like some drums. I was doubling it up. Fun. I could hear a couple that I could feel a couple that I did at a time there, but so as I said, like if I wanted to, I get the one that's out of time, but if we come in here and as I said, like if I slow this down, you're going to hear the hi-hats are out of sync from this because this is still playing at 120 BPM, whereas this is now at 96 BPM. Yeah, I can stop the bottom one. I can just hit stop. Yeah, so this is where, like, if I was trying to do a live set or performance for people, I'd have to be mindful to know like which ones I'm switching back and forth across to. So I don't know that I would do this or not live, but I'm just kind of messing around. I figured if anybody was curious, I'd at least set up the stream. So again, like this one up top is this chunk I now know, and as long as I can remember, it's 120 BPM, but there's not really a good way to mark this on the OP1 field either. Like I could take the microphone and just record like right before it and say like 120 or something. So I'd have an audible note, or I'd have to take a, grab my notebook and write down what tape I'm on, what the second marker is for this stuff. So I'm just goofing around. I don't mind. Anybody that's hopped on my streams before knows I don't mind taking questions from folks and helping answer stuff. I mean, I don't have, like if you asked an MPC question, I'd be like, okay, it's down here. Give me a second. I'll grab it. Like, I don't mind. But let's see. Where are we going? Oop. So, okay, as I said, to get this back, I got to do one of two things. Either use the existing tempo and get back up to tempo. All right, we got our hats back. I can switch tracks. We can unmute this so I can actually play into it. I guess the way I landed that wasn't great. We had like when I hit record, I caught the tail end here, which is another problem with it. Not a problem, but just the behavior of the OP1. So if I play this note and then start recording, it's going to grab that tail, and that's now in the recording. So you just got to be like, there's all these little things you got to be mindful of that can all add up. And sometimes it sounds cool, and sometimes you're like, what the heck did I do? Like, I wouldn't be able to keep that up. And I don't know what the heck I just did. I hit play. So now we're out of sync. I don't like this sound that much. For some reason that sounded like it was coming from outside of my headphones. Yeah, on the MPC you can add a bar on the end to record your tail for sure. And I just hit stop because I'm a goofball. Oh, missed a note. So again, decide, do I want to live with it or not? Started making dungeon core. I'm not going to. Get some keys. I couldn't play Mozart if I tried. My daughter could, but I think she's getting ready to go visit some friends. Yeah, in export, you can tell it how many seconds of a tail you want to add. kind of fun. That's really out of time. Erase it and start over. I think I started recording something out of sync because I'm hearing a start of the bar at 33. Whoops. Let's see. Gotta check something really quick here. I guess my daughter has left the building. She doesn't want to hang out with me. That's a bummer. I gotta check a couple things. Trying to find out what she's actually up to. All right. Is anything using AI here? No AI, unless you consider myself artificial intelligence, but my wife would say that's at least debatable. Just using, I've still got 3 bars of power left. It's not too bad. Nuke some more stuff here. So really the only thing, one of the reasons I do like the OPXY personally is, I know people don't like, there's some people that hate on the brain, but for me, I mostly, I didn't mean to tap a note here. I mostly just like it because I don't have all the things memorized for scales and root notes and all that. So I can come in and just dial something in that I want to, well, not on auto, but, you know, go like E Lydian, and then I can look at the keys. I can at least memorize what the keys are, and then be like, okay, I can start practicing E Lydian. It is currently, both of these are on battery, and even more funny is the OPXY is charging itself off of the OP1 field, so the OP1 field is losing battery very quickly. But if I go over here into the system, the OPXY is charging. Well, it's not charging too much. It's at like 70%, but it is drawing power off of the OP1 field. So, yeah. So now we're just playing off the OPXY. This would probably be the time to, as was being asked by like Lays earlier, this would be the time where, like, if I wanted to switch up the BPM, you know, stop everything, set it, like if I did want to go back to 96 BPM, go set it, come back. I could then put my loop points back in place here where I had them if I wanted to use this again. I don't even remember exactly what I had here, but I could set this, at least get this set up. Probably not play it, but with all the settings I've got, it will at least trigger to stay in sync once I start hitting play on the OPXY. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking to do. But I could slowly bring this down, so it's now playing at the BPM that I've got the OP1 field at. And if I hit this at the right time or double tap it, it will force them to be both back into sync. So, let's see, do we have notes on any of these want to nuke? Probably. Let's get rid of, empty out most of these tracks. These are similar to the OPXY is similar to the Pocket Operators. I only had the metal series. I've still got the PO33, but I don't have the other ones. So some of the stuff I might not quite remember correctly. This one's, you're not hearing this one again because I gotta unmute it. I might have to just, we'll clear out these tracks. Because this one's got that weird shuffly pattern that I had. What notes? Lydian. Okay, so. We can still mess around with, so like this is where like you can only do one effect at a time, but I can go in here and like if I want to really drive the, let's go switch to like nitro. The drive or something. So this works well if you've got one sound going, but if I come in and try and play something else, because it's all going through the same filters, I can definitely see on the mixer here, I am clipping, it's going red. So, probably not what you want to do. Oh, I don't want to be on track 3, or 4, maybe on track 3. I gotta keep reminding myself, I gotta keep switching tracks if I want to play stuff on the OP1. Otherwise I'm gonna start messing up the tracks that I just played. Yeah, it's probably just the bass. But as I said, like that's just like the price you pay for only having one effect. And I mean, I boosted the heck out of the low end. I could bring it back down, make it 100% clean, and take this effect off. I guess Nitro's not doing much. Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes to tell how big it is in the headphones. I like that third note there. So if I'm here, I could just tap it out and remove it. Like, this is all stuff where, like, I would probably want to figure out, like, some of the filtering and stuff. I have some filtering options I can do. Zoe, what do you need? My dogs are staring at me. Come here, Zoe. Here she is. What do you want? Can I get enough attention? You tell everybody you need you need somebody to take care of you. All right. Well, I think I at least did something different than what I usually do. I've had both the OP1 Field and OPXY mostly sitting under my desk in their cases. I was like, I'm gonna take them out and mess with them again. Probably need to get more comfortable making music with them, so the MPC is just the easy go-to for me. But yeah, thanks. As I said, I probably, what I should be doing is putting something after this to record a bit out, kind of like get stems or get like at least the 2 tracks. The OPXY, you can actually do, this top one's your main output, and the bottom one gets you, if you configure it, a second output. So I could technically do 2 tracks out here and then another track here. So, I mean, I could probably get something going to mix a little bit better after a recording. I'd have to think about it. Yeah, Big Tower, it is pricey. That's absolutely for sure. I mean, I got... the thing with music stuff, at least for me, has been... I just get a little bit at a time usually. Last year I actually bought more than I probably should have. Because, let's see, I ended up getting the OPXY, the Ableton Move, and that probably, if I known the OPXY was coming out, I probably wouldn't have gotten the Move, but I do like the Move. I just wish it could do a tiny bit more, but like if it had 4 instrument tracks and maybe 4 MIDI tracks, that'd be cool. I got the Roland P6. I like that a lot, but it's missing some features that I want out of it. So I am not sidechaining the audio at all. I mean, I do have a gate, or I guess kind of a sidechain, but I got a gate going on the microphone, so when I'm speaking, it should drop the music volume down a bit, just so that it's easier to hear me talking. But like there's no like side chaining going on here in the sound. The OPXY has, just for synths, yeah, we'll go over here. Hold on, I gotta switch. Which one is it? One of these. So if we go to engine, the OPY has this Axis engine, the Dissolve engine, it's got a drum engine, electric piano, it's got external, which is what you do for your MIDI mapping. It's got hard sync, multi-sampler, organ, prism, sampler, I think it says simple wavetable. So there's a good amount of synths in here. They have a pretty good amount of sounds. I posted up on Patreon. I want to say there's like over 200 different samples and synths that I posted up for people to go download for free if they wanted. A lot of them are samples. I would say it's like a sampler. It's got the multi-sampler and a single sample. So I mean, anything that you want to load into it, it's pretty good quality, and the time stretching on it's quite good. So it does well. Oh, my daughter's asking if she can have a friend spend the night because she's not going to a party anymore. I guess that's for the best. So the other thing, so the OP1 field only has the sampler. I mean, it's got its own engines and stuff. They both have completely different effects, so they don't overlap for like how they sound very much. Next video, do the time stretching. What do you want time stretching on? You want to hear how something like is pitch shifted on here? Is that like, what do you think? Like, you want drums or something? And I'm happy to recable something pretty quickly here. Take this out. I gotta figure out where the other end goes. The SP404 Mark II. So what do you like? And when you say time stretching, do you actually mean like Ableton style time stretching, which I can't really do? There's some tricks you can do to use the LFO to go through it. That's more granular style, but it's not really true time stretching. Or do you just want to hear pitch shifting? Live time stretch. I forget how to set that up. As I said, it really doesn't do live time stretching. You want a changing BPM with time stretching. Basically, you got to set up a ramping LFO on one of them, and that is well, the PO33 doesn't do time stretching either. Like it's basically chopping, or you're taking a sample and just playing through. It doesn't do time stretching. So that's why I was asking. Like I don't. On the PO33, are you using the top half or the bottom half when you're talking time stretching? Because like if you're doing like the singles, are you doing the single sample or the 16 sliced samples on the PO33? Then I will know what you mean for what you're trying to look for, because I am familiar with the PO33. Well, on the PO33, I mean, I can go grab it. I'll just show you. All right, we have the PO33 here. Let me plug it in, and I think we'll get to the same language here, and I can explain to you what the terms are that I would use anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna jack up the volume here. All right, so I don't have like a ton of stuff loaded here apparently, but on the top half, on pads 1 through 8, you basically sample in a single sample. So like here, I got like a chord. So I'm playing the chord, and as I play it, like this isn't responding, it's not changing the speed based on the BPM of what's playing here. It's just changing the pitch and the speed together as I play the notes or change what note is. So when you record it in pad, number 5 on the top half of the samples is whatever you recorded in as. On the bottom half, if I hit this button to switch, it is taking and chopping a sample up, like one sample into multiple chunks. So I got like a drum kit here. And these are just the different chops. So what I'm trying to ask is, when you record in on the PO33 for what you're talking about, are you recording in on the top half or the bottom half? Like, are you having it do the chops, or is it just taking one sample and playing it at different pitches? If you follow me. You're using the top. The top on the PO33 doesn't change though. So like, I've got this chord. It will continue to play in the right position, but let's go like right here. If I let's go to a different pattern. I'll go to like something that's blank. So I've got this. If I come in, I can play that note here, and then I can pick a different note. So we're going to switch over. So if I play this, it's just going to keep playing, right? And if I hold down the metronome button, I can change the speed. Like this is at 240 BPM. This is at 60. It's not changing the tone that it's playing. It's just changing the time when it's actually triggering, because that component's changing. Yeah, so like, but this isn't, it's not changing the sound. I don't know, maybe I need to draw a picture here. I'll grab my notebook. So the way that the top half works is, if we just got time here, you're going to do like a sound, like maybe this is a kick drum or something, and it just triggers from when the pad is lit up until either it gets another event and then it will re-trigger again, potentially at a different pitch, or if there's nothing to trigger it, it's just going to keep playing until silence, and then it stops playing. So it's not changing the pitch, it's just changing like the time that it starts playing. And I don't know, I'm hoping I'm doing a good job explaining this to you, but you can like any of this stuff you can totally do on like the OPXY. The OP1 field doesn't really work quite this way. So like if I come in here, I'll do something similar. Let's move to, what's like an easy one here. Like we've got like one sample. Like this would be like kind of like what I just drew here. It's just one sample, and it doesn't matter. I don't know. The root note technically doesn't matter. It's just playing the same sample as I go up the keyboard or down the keyboard. And the way the PO33 is working is it is only playing one note. So it's basically monophonic for whatever you play in like that sample slot. You can only play up to 4 samples at the same time. So when you trigger the next sample, it is going to cut itself off. I gotta remember how to switch this to mono. Okay, so right now it's in poly. We're gonna go switch it to mono. So now what's gonna happen when I play? It's gonna play more like the pocket operator, where in that, like when I play the next one, it's cutting it off. So I can't play multiple keys at the same time. I can only play one at a time. If I switch it back to poly, just so you can hear, like I can play a chord now. But if we go back to mono, let's say I want to play this note, I can drop it here, kind of like the 16 grid here, play that here, play that here. So we've just got a 4. Well, let me mute everything else. We're going to stop this. Okay, back to me being able to show you what the heck I'm talking about. So we have the 4 notes. So this is like what you would end up doing. And, oops, I gotta drop the bars down. So it's just 1 bar right now. If you wanted to, I can certainly change the metronome. And it's gonna play as fast or slow. It's not gonna change the pitch, which is what time stretching, like real-time time stretching would do this. Yeah, on the MPC, you've got warp for sure. But you were talking about the Pocket Operator 33. And the warp is like a very CPU intensive application. So there's tricks you can do to kind of simulate it, but there's not a way to get it to do it on the OPXY or the OP1 field. So that's what I was trying to say. Like, I wanted to make sure I understood what you were asking. But if you are talking Pocket Operator, like this is about as close as I can probably get from a how changing the BPM on the OPXY is going to work similar to how it works on the PO33. If that makes, I hope that makes sense. You do 2 bars on the Pocket Operator, but it always changes the pitch no matter what tempo you select. You might have an effect baked in or something. Like that part, like I'd have to see, like, I don't know. But I mean, like I can do weird tricks here too. Where we can like, this kind of is like, that has like the FX tricks where you kind of start having to do like weird things that you can record in. I mean, it just kind of depends on like if you like those or not. They can be fun, but anyway, I probably should drop. I gotta take my dogs out and stuff. But hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. Obviously, as I say, keep asking questions, and peace.